Yo, hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Today it is Thursday and we got a lot to cover for the markets right now, as yesterday's news was completely crazy. What happened is, as you can see, we got a 0.25% of a cut as expected, as you can see. And what this brought to the markets, if we go on a lower time frame, for example on Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin did not get a much of a volatile move as I expected, to be honest. Basically Bitcoin got firstly a dump of around 2%, but what happened in the stock market was absolutely insane. As you can see, the Nasdaq during the news, the new events right here, it dropped down, as you can see, 1.14%, and then pumped back up. Then we got another fake out to the downside, and right now we are pumping again. Basically stock market at new all-time highs after the FOMC news. As you can see on the daily time frame, we did get a doji candle right here where buyers stepped in. Basically from those previous high, we were a couple of dollars away from the weekly pivot, but we got an absolutely beautiful move afterwards, as you can see. But the manipulation that was happening was insane. On gold there was an insane move yesterday. I think if we go on the lower time frame, we can see it. There was right here, you can see there was a crazy week, as you can see, to the downside. Basically gold dropped around 1.2%, then pumped, swing failed the highs right here. If we go on the daily time frame, you can see, or on the 4 hourly, so you can see it better. Basically the all-time high right here, as you can see, we failed to close above the high, and then gold absolutely dumped down towards the weekly pivot. As you can see, we got a move of around 2% for gold, which is a lot, to the downside. Basically Ethereum, basically nothing much happened for the crypto markets, which is kind of insane in my opinion. I was expecting to get some very big volatility. As you can see, it basically 2% of a move. During those news I was expecting much more, but instead we got a volatile move on gold, we got a volatile move on the stock market, and basically we got a volatile move on the dollar, if I'm not mistaken, the Dixie. Absolutely crazy. You can see we swing failed this high right here, this low right here. If I do it like this, as you can see, basically the price failed to close below this high, and right now the Dixie is still pushing hard after confirming this daily swing fail pattern, which is for the short term bullish for the dollar and bearish for gold. This is why gold is having a correction right now on the daily. This correction, if we lose the weekly pivot, we might see it drip down towards the previous all-time high, but it is, in my opinion, very unlikely, as gold is really strong right now. But it all depends on the dollar, as I said. But let's get back to crypto right now. The Bitcoin dominance is still trending downwards. As you can see, right now we are sitting below the weekly pivot for the Bitcoin dominance, and this is why the altcoins are having a nice run to the upside. As you can see right here, Solana did bounce from that weekly pivot 3 times in a row this week, and currently we are struggling against the weekly R1. Sui also did have a pretty insane bounce from the value area low, and right now we are almost back at $4. So basically we have a pump of around 13% for Sui, which is very nice, as you can see right here. Hype is also pushing towards new all-time high. We did put in a new all-time high basically. So Solana, as I said, almost at this high right here, so we need to see a push back above potentially in order to see a continuation for Solana. But looking at the weekly time frame, the weekly candle looks very promising for a potential continuation to the upside, since we are basically 18 8% away from the all-time high, and if Bitcoin keeps pushing on the weekly time frame to the upside, we might see a retest of those highs right here. We might even actually break through. As I said, I am expecting a rejection, since I'm not expecting Bitcoin to put in a new all-time high during the month of September, but anything can happen. So if we don't reject here and we push above it and close a daily candle below 120, above 120k, then I would be flipping bullish potentially for another move to the upside like this one, or maybe even like this one, since we are consolidating here for quite some time. So this might happen. If we look at the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin on a larger scale, like the yearly liquidations, we can see right here, if it loads, that we still have some major liquidity sitting on the top side, basically above this high right here. But we do have most of the liquidity still sitting downwards. So it is very, very possible, as I said, that we might grab that liquidity up to 120k and leave this liquidity potentially for later. And firstly, we're going to be getting a move to the downside to grab the liquidity towards the downside. The Bitcoin ETF inflows, if I'm not mistaken, today we did get an outflow of around 51 million. Everybody sold, other than BlackRock. As you can see, BlackRock bought another 149 million of Bitcoins. So they are not selling, and they are the ones that I'm mostly looking at, BlackRock and Fidelity. They are the two biggest whales, so to say, from the institutions. And the Fear and Greed Index still sitting at 51, nothing new. We have been a very long time consolidating in that neutral zone. Basically, for the Fear and Greed Index, the long versus shorts ratio for the day, we do have more longs in the market. Everybody is bullish, in my opinion. Everybody will be bullish on the major exchanges during until Bitcoin hits 120k. As you can see on Hyperliquid, there are a big difference between the shorts and the longs. So basically the whales there are long and strong, which is bullish in my opinion. But we will see what kind of a reaction we will see for Bitcoin if we get to the 120k level. And this is what I'm looking at right now. The funding rates are still positive on the major exchanges, as you can see, which is good for the price. We did have, I think today we did not have that important news for crypto. And yes guys, that will be it for today's update video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for the channel, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.